This is the DTV Digest, the podcast that brings you news and reviews of films which didn't make it to the cinema. And now, here's your host, Mike Parkin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DTV Digest. I'm your host, Mike Parkin, and joining me today is Stephen Lockridge.
Hello.
This week, we've only got two films to cover. We're going to kick off with The Sheriff, and then we've got Signal 1. Our short shot is A Memory Ode, and then our DTV Throwback is Christina Ricci in The Gathering. So, without further ado, let's crack on. Our first film then is The Sheriff. A local sheriff investigates a recent murder, uncovering disturbing connections to his own son's unsolved death 5 years earlier. Okay, so this... It's nothing new, really. We've seen films of this ilk a lot. There's a particular film called A Small Town Crime. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Similar sort of thing where you're sort of cutting into the criminal underbelly of a what seems to be like a normal town sort of thing, and finding all this, criminal activity, all these shenanigans going on under the surface kind of thing. There are some nice red herrings along the way, and I have to say production values are pretty good for this kind of film. For example, when people get shot, you actually see them getting shot. Hit with proper bullet squibs and everything. It's not, which speaks to its budget. For me, it's got a pretty decent cast. We've got Tom Berenger in there. We've also got Milo Gibson, who, son of Mel, playing Scumbag Tulip. We've even got a short cameo from Mark Dacascos in there as well. Very strange. So overall, I quite like this. The only thing I didn't really like is when the sheriff has these sort of moments with his dead son, which are sort of very antagonistic. And then, why am I dead, Dad? Why didn't you solve my murder yet, Dad? It's that sort of thing. And it's like, you're not helping, really. And then of course it changes the tune at the end. But I just thought the actor was very shrill. Just didn't really sort of gel with everything else that was going on for me. But it's a decent sort of crime pop boiler, really. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I just found it pretty generic, really. It's one of, like I said, seen it a million times before, seen it, probably done better. But I thought you could tell the budget was there, or they'd used it well. But it's like you said, the flashbacks of the conversation with the dead son, and obviously he's got the issues with the daughter as well, and he's not a great dad, and blah blah blah, and it just kind of dragged a little bit for me. I wasn't that much into it, but it was weird seeing Mark Dacascos. But not as much seeing him, but the role he played, it's not, your normal Dacascos role, is it? But it was okay. I mean, I think some people get some out of it, but I wasn't really that much into it.
It was interesting. I mean, I was reasonably interested where it ended up. Basically, I mean, the film starts with a double murder. For some reason, they try to make one of the murders look like an overdose or something. But why? It just doesn't really sort of make sense why they would do that. But anyway, and then it turns out his dad may be involved in what's been going on in the town. As I mentioned, we got Milo Gibson playing this character called Tulip,
Mm.
who's a bit of a he's a bit of a sort of Joe Pesci in Goodfellas and Casino
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
character.
definitely.
Because if things aren't going his way, he just kills people
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
That's his go-to. And then you got Tom Berenger, who had you because of the sort of film it is, you kind of expect him to be the bad guy.
mm,
You go, surely he's behind it all. So that was kind of interesting as well. So where that ends up, but yeah, it was better than I expected. I have to say,
yeah,
you know, because we have seen films like this, but done on a lower budget. Um, and because it's on a lower budget, they cut corners. This doesn't cut corners as far as I'm concerned. It, it it's quite satisfying in the way it delivers its story. It's just that one of those stories that we've seen time and time again.
yeah, yeah,
And on that
definitely.
basis, what are you going to score it?
I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, it's definitely a 6, a very solid 6.
Mm.
Yeah, it comes with some recommendation. It's certainly better than a lot of the films of its type. So there you go.
Yeah.
2 6s for the Sheriff. Go check it out. Next up is Signal 1. 2 scientists are recruited by a tech billionaire to work on a project that could change humanity's place in the universe. Okay, so hard science, or at least hard pseudoscience,
Hmm.
seems to be back in vogue, thanks to Project Hail Mary.
Mm.
People think, oh yeah, hard science, give me hard science fiction kind of thing. So I think this is going to garner a bit more interest than it might have done, say, a year ago, for example.
Yeah.
It is a very well produced film. It's got a great location. It did. On that note, it kind of reminded me of Ex Machina.
Yeah. Yeah.
This sort of secluded rich person's location. But I mean, obviously the objective's different.
Yeah.
But I was kind of reminded of that a bit.
Mm.
You've got a barnstorming performance from David Thewlis in this, chewing the scenery like crazy, and at times it feels like he's in a different film, but he is the standout of the film for me. I thought
Mm.
his performance is great. We got Isabel Furman and Josh, whatever his name is,
Hutchinson.
Hutchison. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he in Dawson's Creek?
No.
No,
Not that I know of.
I'm
Is it
getting him
like
confused.
the Hunger Games and Bridge to Terabithia?
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Peter. Yeah, Peter in that. Yeah,
Yeah.
nonsense. That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So it's got a solid small cast. Hasn't got much in the way of sort of special effects or anything, but I think the story itself is actually quite compelling. I did
Mm.
was able to follow it, enjoyed it. Again, starts in media res though. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it is a kind of in media res I can actually get behind. You know,
Mm.
um, because it's in such a different setting. It's not a case of, oh, we're going to show you a clip from something that happens 3/4 of the way through the film and then jump back in time. It's a bit of a better sort of framing device than that. So
Yeah.
I was admittedly a bit more on board with it. Yeah, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, David Thewlis is basically being Johnny from Naked again, but dressed a bit tidier,
Yeah.
But that's kind of a performance I expect from David Thewlis, when he's
Hmm.
let off the leash, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. It is very hard, not hard sci-fi, but hard sci-fi concepts, and
Yeah, you can almost say
gobbledygook and
it's probably there's probably a little bit of it based in reality.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably a step beyond sort of where the science is at the moment, but it's probably what somebody's dreaming up. But
yeah. But yeah, like I say, it's a lot of techno babble. It's not
Hmm.
an easy watch, but I'd almost say it's not an easy listen, because it's one you've got to concentrate just to get through what they're talking about and the techno babble and stuff like that. But yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's not an overboard, all guns blazing. It's quite contemplative sci-fi and stuff like that, in which some of it I do enjoy. Some of it is a bit too much for me, but yeah, I enjoyed this, and it's nice to see Isabel Furman. I've not really seen her in anything for a bit, to be fair. I mean, except Orphan, and we had one, didn't we, a while back where it was she's like a handmaiden or something. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not too overboard as well. There's no big alien spaceship coming down, destroying the Earth and stuff like that. And I think the point he's trying to get across is actually a pretty believable one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
It's some interesting sort of concepts and discussions. Like, so one, I think it's Josh Hutchinson's character is sort of saying he doesn't believe that anything which can be intelligent can also be hostile. So that was really interesting, that sort of conversation. And also when David Thewlis is sort of basically saying about when they have was it a cow and a goat or something, or a horse? No, a horse. It was when you have a horse, because they're sort of like social animals and don't like to be alone. So sometimes they just put a goat in with them. And it basically sort of saying, you're the goat and I'm the horse, kind of thing. Yeah, it was very interesting. It gives you sort of an uncomfortable feeling where it ends up.
Yeah.
Because it's when you sort of think about it more. I mean, the only thing I can really sort of like compare it to is there's a series on Netflix called The Three Body Problem.
Yeah.
It's got an element of that in the way that the whole world is being exposed to something pretty disturbing. It's pretty freaky. So yeah, no, this is definitely worth checking out. It is more cerebral than it's not all sort of shooty kind of stuff.
No.
I'd say it sort of leans in more into sort of Spielberg style, sci-fi. But
yeah,
definitely worth checking out, I think. And on that note, I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10.
I will give it a 7.
Yep. So an 8 and a 7 for Signal One. We definitely recommend you go check it out. Go check it out. Our short shot this week is A Memory Ode. Bound by unspoken grief, reclusive pensioner Stan and his young carer find unexpected solace on the wind-swept plains of a once bustling World War II airfield where memory still lingers. So this is produced by the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre. Set in a sort of like museum kind of place. And we got James Bolem as Stan, which I thought was quite a coup. And yeah, it's centers around this relationship. His carer is this sort of harried young woman, constantly on her phone. But then you sort of find out later on why she's on her phone so much. It's so it's a bit of sort of a pathos there. And you're kind of sort of looking at James Bolem and going, surely he's not old enough to have been a pilot, and then we get this interesting twist at the end, which I thought was quite good. It's not our usual kind of thing, but I thought it was a well-made film and dealt with decent sort of subject matters and themes. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like Roger Ebert said, cinema's like an empathy machine. And I think this is what that is. It's just, building all about the emotion and what they've sacrificed. And it's, trying to put a more human perspective or more singular perspective on
Mm.
what went on in the war and, how people left at home were affected, and stuff like that. And trying to mirror it with someone of today's problems, I suppose.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's well acted. I mean, I would expect no less from James Bolem. And the girl, Ronnie Sutton, I think she's called. I thought she was really good as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I mean, sat there watching it, and my wife was watching it with me as well. She went, "She sounds like she's from Oldham." She's not. She's from Burnley. I did check it out.
All right, did check. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's decent. I mean, I was actually quite impressed with the war scenes as well.
Hmm. Yeah, it does a good sort of job at the beginning of the film, sort of showing
Yeah,
one of the nighttime bombing runs. I thought that was pretty decent. Um, but yeah, you could see just being in that place was sort of evoking memories within
mm,
Stan, even though we find out later, what his actual sort of role was.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it was very interesting. Um, we don't score the shots. I don't think I got any more to say on this
No,
one. It
no.
is just a really well put together shot. Definitely, with his heart on his sleeve as far as
Yeah.
the RAF and the people who served. But yeah, we don't score the shorts, but we do recommend you go and check them out. And you'll find a link to this in the footnotes below. Go check it out. Our DTV throwback this week is The Gathering. An amnesiac woman has disturbing visions while staying with an art scholar investigating an ancient altarpiece. Okay, that barely scratches the surface of this one.
Yeah.
Now, this starts like gangbusters. I thought the first 5 minutes or so were absolutely superb. It
Mm,
sets up, the discovery of this buried church on the
yeah.
outskirts of this town. That was absolutely superb. Then we get the likes of Stephen Dillane coming in as this art historian who is, he's had run-ins with the church before over certain theories and things that he's
Yeah.
had. Oh, that's right. He debunked their piece of the cross, didn't he? I think that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And he said, no, that's it's a 19th century piece of driftwood at best.
Yeah.
Um, so into this comes Christina Ricci, who gets hit by a car uh, by Stephen
Given.
Delane's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, and out of guilt, she sort of allows her to sort of stay, but she's got amnesia. She doesn't remember who she is or where she came from and all the rest of it. Um, and this village seems to be a bit weird, basically. There's all these
It,
people that just keep staring at her and stuff like that.
it's like Hot Fuzz. I don't.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the way that it comes across. Because it is, like what was that place called? It's Sanford
Yeah.
in
Sanford.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Sanford. But yeah, that's the way it comes across. This quaint old village. But also in there we got Ioan Griffith.
Yeah.
Is this guy knocking around? We've got Robert Hardy, who I hadn't seen
Yeah.
for ages,
Yeah.
as the bishop. So it's got a really really solid cast. Um,
You
I,
got
I,
Mackenzie Crook as well in there for a minute.
yeah, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we do. Yeah, one of the gatherers.
Yep.
So it does sort of slow down a bit. So after that brilliant start, um, it does slow down. I did like the whole investigative bit. I always love the investigative bits of these sort of things, where they're bringing out old tomes of books and things and
Mm,
looking stuff up, and they find references to this this church, and the way the church is designed and everything, and the whole set of that I thought was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
It's just the pacing a little bit for me. It sort of slows down. It gathers back up at the end. I think there's a few leaps of logic as to why people are there and what's going to happen. It's like, well, of course, someone's going to go on a murderous rampage, but what? How did he
Yeah.
get there? You know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was really pleasantly surprised with this one. What are your thoughts on it?
To be honest, I thought it was a bit of a mess. I mean,
Mhm.
it's all over the place. It really is. I mean, the thing that got me as well, it's written by Anthony Horowitz.
I know, right?
Yeah. Now, I've not read many of his books. I think I've read a couple when I was younger.
Mm.
And years ago, when I worked at Tesco, we had like a Christmas conference, right?
Mm.
And he was like a guest speaker there.
All right.
And
Interesting.
he seemed a really intelligent, really clever, funny guy, just, I'm like, yeah, he's, but with this, I'm like, what? It's all over the place. I mean, what
See,
the gathering are,
mm,
right, I think is quite a good premise. It's quite a good idea.
yeah.
But it kind of makes no sense
Mm,
because supposedly from 2,000 years ago, yeah,
mm.
following. I mean, again, what are they following? Are they just watching mass murders, or
Basically, it's this sort of natural, disasters that have
yeah?
happened that can't be avoided. Basically,
So were they there at
yeah.
Hiroshima or the Titanic? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
all that sort of stuff is
Yeah.
what they're supposed to have been there for.
But so you've got one who's Welsh,
Yeah.
one who's American,
Hmm.
one who I presume is Indian. I'm not sure, the doctor.
Yeah.
And oh no, sorry, no, he wasn't one of the. He was murdered, so he wasn't one of
Mm.
the gathering. But it's just so tenuously strung together. I don't know. It's just not right
Hmm.
in a way, and like you say, it's a great start. I mean, as soon as that bloke disappears, and you're like, all right, what's going on here?
Mm.
And then the girl vanishes, falls through the earth or whatever. You think, okay, this, and then it's this hidden church, and you're like, oh, that right, a church has been buried. Well, that could be quite an
Mm.
interesting thing. But it just goes flat in the middle, and it's all seems very tenuously connected and stuff like that. And the ending was just a bit
Well,
not too
yeah.
far, but
Mm.
I mean, like the last couple of shots, I'm like, right, okay, you know,
It was interesting. Well, that was the other weird thing is why he was after the young boy Michael,
mm, yeah,
as if he's some sort of like reincarnation of something. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't get that at all. Um, but there you go.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I did
to be
like it.
fair,
Yeah.
why was he after any of them? Is it
Yeah.
Was it to do with him being abused as a kid or something like that? Because the actual like killing spree just seemed to come out of nowhere. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. It's was a bit strange. Something is sort of giving him a sort of psychotic break sort of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
but
again, it just
yeah.
comes out of nowhere. But now, apparently, because I was reading up on it,
Mm.
there's an extended 10-minute version
Mm.
that was released in Germany, I think, on TV or something.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if it's a
Maybe
bit.
filled in the gaps.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Because to
Yeah,
me,
maybe.
10 minutes is quite a bit. Because
Yeah,
it's only for about an hour and 20.
that's it. Yeah. But I must admit, once that sort of murder spree kicked off, I was back on board, completely, because it was so well done.
Yeah.
It didn't hold back on that at
No,
all.
no, no, no,
You
no,
know,
no.
I thought that was excellent. Now, I was reminded of another film while watching this, which had a kind of similar premise
Mm.
with Jeff Daniels called Timescape back in the 90s.
Oh,
1991. He plays the owner of a hotel. His wife had died previously a while ago in an accident. And these people come staying at the hotel. And it turns out they're from the future. And they're there to witness some natural disaster that's going to happen to the town. And
right.
he's gonna try and get people out. That was quite interesting. It was definitely sort of made for video,
Yeah.
sort of. But yeah, that was a pretty decent little film. But
Well, just thinking about it now, do you remember one called Millennium
oh yeah, yeah, I
with
read
Chris
the book. Yeah,
Christopherson?
yeah, yeah.
Kind of,
Cheryl Ladd. Yeah.
yeah, kind of a bit like that as well. Yeah,
Mm, mm,
but I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's not.
mm.
It's just the script is all over the place, which is the thing that really, really surprised me about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Especially,
I agree. Yeah, it's like, well, let's keep throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, but I did like also the ending, sort of Christina Ricci's fate,
mm,
because that was quite surprising as well. What happens there. I thought that
yeah.
was like, oh, okay. But anyway, no, this is we watched this on YouTube, and we'll put a link to the version we found. It
I
is a
will.
pretty decent copy. Come on.
I will also say, because I know you've got YouTube Premium or whatever.
No, the number of adverts was fucking
Oh
awful.
my god, yes! It's every 5 fucking minutes.
Every 5 minutes, yeah. Yeah, if you can watch this anywhere else but YouTube, please do,
Yeah.
because the amount of ads that were littered in this thing were ridiculous.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I definitely did notice. Hang on, I've just pressed the skip button. What's going on? It's gone
Yeah.
back. There's another advert. But yeah, considering I'd never heard of it,
No, I mean to be fair, I'm quite a big fan of Christina Ricci, and
yeah, yeah,
it's never even the name's never even crossed my path.
yeah. But it has got really good production values. Like
Mm.
the setting of the church was great. That was
Yeah,
It was really, really creepy. The way they've done that. We got scenes at the beginning with like helicopters flying in and stuff. It's money being thrown at this, and the whole ending. The whole murder spree kind of thing that happens at the end. That was really, really well done. Also,
even
so.
the explosion as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the car bomb and that. It really there's a lot here to like. There's a few things we disagree with for sure, but considering neither of us had heard of it, low expectations, all the rest of it. This one really, it did the job. So there you go. We don't score them, but we do recommend you go and check them out. And as I said, we'll put the link to the YouTube version in the notes below. Go check it out. So that is the end of this very short episode. Only two presenters and only two films being covered. I'm pretty sure we've got more lined up for the next episode. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and X and Blue Sky at the DTV Digest. Also check out the short shots. So we've got a few new episodes up and running as it happens. Other than that, thank you for listening. Tune in next time.
Thank you for listening to the DTV Digest. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tune in again next time.